Mary Heck, and over there at the very end of the
you have
second
good
row
eyes.
is Janie Carlson, who lives in Boulder. And Marilyn Bush probably is in there. She may be the third, standing in the last row, the third one, maybe, because she's pretty tall. And
I'll have to print
Oh,
this
and then,
out.
Dodie Helmkamp
I
should
got
be
this
in there.
picture.
and, oh, that blonde.
That blonde.
I'm amazed you
That
can
we
read
had
this
to kick
anyway.
out,
Oh.
because she was a kleptomaniac.
Oh, yes, that was.
Lou Ann Henley.
Uh-huh.
I never thought I'd forget her name.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear, that's bad.
Okay, so now we have.
Oh, and Lee Stecker was in middle.
Oh, I saw Joanne.
Well, do you guys want to share your favorite memory from CU?
Oh, yeah, please.
Oh. If I can get up. Well, I got off to an interesting start because my first sorority mother had the audacity to drop out of school and get married, leaving me an orphan. And I was adopted by Dale, who has been a marvelous mother all through these years. And I'm so glad she still lives in Denver, the Denver area, because we get to see each other very often. And I had a deal where I had to drop out of school the spring quarter of my sophomore year. My father had a nervous breakdown. And I went to work in an oil field as an oil secretary for 2 years. Came back in '51 after having saved what I thought was enough money to put me through 2 more years of school and finish my degree. And it wasn't enough money. So but when I came back in the year that I should have graduated, that was, I believe, the first year that Phi Chapter had an annex. And what they did was rent a boarding house over on Pleasant Street, which was a block or so away from the main house on Pennsylvania. There were about 15 of us. And as far as a fond memory, the only beauty prize I ever got, I got at the annex. And the 3 hashers that were there voted me something like the girl they'd most like to have breakfast with. And for a prize, I got this cute little plastic tricycle that was red, blue, and yellow, which disappeared. I think my son took it. And anyway, I think the only reason I won was because I really made a point of coming to breakfast and taking the curlers out of my hair first. And the other girls didn't seem to care. So, my picture is this little bitty thing which was taken in front of Bigelow Hall, which is in the old freshman dorm, and in front of the 2 lions. And I roomed with Joanne Healy,
Sesson now.
Sesson, our famous auctioneer at the December meetings, and a Margaret Sherlock Creighton, who unfortunately is no longer with us.
Yeah.
But those were great days. We were the first group of people back in the dorm after the Navy hit it. They were learning Japanese, and they had occupied that whole freshman dorm for, I guess, several years. Every private room was doubled. Every double room was quadrupled. So we were really cozy in this room. And I remember one time the sailors' names were on these bunk beds with the web springs. It was all very fancy. And I think it was Joanne, we went to some function where this former Navy man had gotten out of the Navy and was going to school there now. And I think it was Joanne who said, "Oh, I'm sleeping in your bed." And she recognized the name on the But anyway, I guess I've talked over a lot of time.
I was just going to say that what I remember is the best thing about being in a sorority was that we were on the quarter system, so we changed roommates 3 times a year. And if you lived with someone, you got to really know them and love them. And so I felt like by the time I was finished 4 years, I knew so many people so well that I still know them all to this day. And I was even there a year ahead of Helen, and we were, it was 46. I came from Sacramento, California, to this little college in Boulder. Well, that little college doubled its enrollment in 1946 because World War II was over. And we had dates on top of dates. There were so many men there. It was absolutely the best time to go to college.
Is that a picture of you, Ruth, that you're?
It's
oh,
a
yeah.
gorgeous picture.
Oh,
Beautiful.
You can pass that around too.
Yeah. I have a little box in my house that's a powder room. And I was thinking, oh, what do you do with a box? So I put a big stripe on the wall and then all these family photographs there. So I just took that off the wall. But I have back, 4 and 5 generations with the men with the funny long beards, and it's really kind of fun. Sometimes 6 people will jam into that little box so that I can tell them who people are.
Do we have it?
I brought 3 scrapbooks, which are 60 years old. So earlier, and there are pictures of me in there, but you know, nobody has to look at them. But the funniest part of the story is, I was so fascinated with Rush at the University of Akron. When I entered it, I didn't know what it was even. And I was such a nerd, I picked up napkins at every Rush party I went to and put them in the scrapbook. You know, now I should rip them out and throw, so people don't realize what a nerd I was. So Sarah and Janet, they were looking at them, napkins from Alpha, Gamma, Delta, Kappa, Kappa, Gamma. They're in this book. And whoever else I was rushed by. I was rushed by everybody at first. But I finally picked Delta Gamma, and I kept every invitation and the letter that all the girls signed to invite me into the sorority. So if you want to see them, I'll show them to you. That's my story. It's kind of fun to go back 60 years and look at all that stuff.